Well, we'd moved house and it was gas, and a friend of my mother's was putting electricity in for us, and he was an ex-operator, and I'd left school and couldn't get a job, and he advised me to go and see a Mr. Ward at the Rialto Cinema. He was a circuit engineer, and he got me a job in the Rivoli, which was 5 minutes away from home. And then by taking the news from the Rivoli to the Mayfair, we used to share the newsreel. And that's how I got to know the operators, and they had a vacancy. So I went there, and I was getting 17.6 at the Rivoli, and I went to the Mayfair for 35 shillings a week and an extra night off. And I stayed there till I closed it in 73.
Where was the Rivoli?
On the block, carry on past the Mayfair, 2 blocks away, towards Aigburth Vale. I was there roughly 12 months, yeah.
So what was the thrill for you to be a projectionist?
Well, it was just you enjoyed putting a show on for a lot of people who would enjoy it, you know, apart from the booze when it broke down. Yeah.
And why would it break down?
Well, poor film, a bad joint in the film, or a vicus in the film, anything could go, you know.
So that wasn't necessarily down to the projectionist?
Oh, it was really, yeah. Yeah, he didn't check it properly, yeah. Yeah. He said they want you like that, you could want it like that. Yeah, yeah.
Did you have any favourite films?
I like the westerns. The Gunfight at the Oak Corral was my favourite. Yeah. I forget the amount of the Indian ones I've seen. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
As the projectionist, did you feel a sense of responsibility?
Oh yes, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, definitely. But you weren't only a projectionist, you had to look after the lighting and the boilers and goodness knows what, you know. Not in the circuits you didn't, but in the private cinemas you did, yeah.
What do you mean, looked after the boilers?
Well, you have to keep it right, the boilers, make sure they're working all right, and the air conditioning stuff, and all the lighting stuff like that, you know. That's how I got the job I got in the bank, because I've had the experience of heating and ventilating. Yeah.
So when you went into work, can you run us through what you'd have to do?
Well, you probably put all your secondary lighting on and have a walk around and make sure there's no lights out before you open the shower, put them in, things like that, you know. Or you might clean some light fittings in the morning before you open up, things like that, you know. Or you might go and check your air conditioning fans and things like that, extract fans, stuff like that, you know. Yeah. A lot of people thought all we done was show pictures. Yeah, yeah. Mm. But that's stood me in good stead to get the job I got in the end, you know. You'd have a cup of tea and read the paper first, like, you know. Start at 10 o'clock in the morning. And you go and have a look around your lights, stuff like that. Clean your projectors, clean out your arc lamps, you know, things like that. Yeah.
So you'd work from 10 o'clock till?
Well, I went home, my dinner, because it was only 5 minutes away. And then come back and then go home, my tea, and come back again. 12-hour day.
And how many shows would you have?
Well, in the early days, you had the matinee and then you had the 2 evening performances. But as time went on, the matinee stopped, except when the children were on holiday. And then Saturday, we had 2 separate performances, which were bookable, you know. I can remember the queues right round the cinema in them days, yeah. Every Saturday, right round the building, it'd be. Yeah. The manager would never let us go off on a Saturday, because you can't go off on a Saturday, fly Saturday. Yeah. 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 Then it finished up, when I went there was 9 operators. It finished up with me and Dave Ellis, 2 of us. Because in 1957 we got what they call projectomatic, which was automation, and they've cut away with the other operators. Yeah. Actually, the owner said to me, I'm not paying men to sit in the staff room playing cards while one man's in the box. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, he died 2 years ago, the owner of Bedford Cinemas. Yeah. I was talking to him in the morning in the bank. I was talking to him, and a friend of mine rang me in the afternoon to tell me he was dead. Had a brain tumour. Yeah. Yeah. I said I was talking to him this morning. He said, well, he's dead now. Yeah. Mm.
What was the atmosphere like inside?
Well, it was quite a good atmosphere in the old days when it was full, but you know, when it started getting just a few, the atmosphere had gone, you know. Yeah. Once TV came in, that was the end of the cinemas. I remember the manager said to me that there's the thing that's going to kill us, he said. Yeah. And now we're obsolete because they've all gone digital.
Do you watch films at home?
On TV? No, it's funny, Dave said to me, how many times have you been to the cinema? I said, Dave, I've not been near a cinema since they closed the door at Mayfair. And I haven't. I've not seen a film I'd like to see. It's a lot of rubbish these days, you know. Yeah. I mean, my brother-in-law took his grandchildren a few years ago, he told me. It cost them a fortune to go in. Yeah. I remember when I started, it was 1 and 3 in the front stalls and 1 and 9 in the back stalls. That was two something in the balcony, I forget what that was now. And that was an 1800-seater, the Mayfair. Yeah.
And so when it was really full?
When it was really full, you have to be on your toes. Yeah. And with the Palais and the Forum, they used to share the newsreel, and they had a cable going from one building to the other, where you should put the case on and pull the news over. Yeah. Because really, we used to have Paramount News, but at the end of the war, and then we went on to sharing, so it was GB News. Yeah. Yeah. And them days, a 3-hour show. You got the pictures now. You get perhaps 2 hours and a road adverts, and that's it. And then when they done away with the festoon curtain and they made it an open screen, it wasn't the same. You know, it wasn't the same at all. There's no showmanship to it then. You know, it's just thrown on, and that's it. Yeah. But there were good days in the early days, you know. But towards the end, it was hopeless.
Tell me how many cinemas there were in Liverpool?
230, I believe. Surprised you that, didn't it? I thought it would, yeah. Well, Smithdown Road, it's now a supermarket at the very top, your end, Lodge Lane end. You know the supermarket I mean? Do you know that one? Just round the corner of Smithdown Road. On the left-hand side, on the right-hand side going down. That used to be the Grand.
Do you know when the first cinema was in Liverpool?
I might be wrong, but I think it was the Park Palace in Mill Street. I might be wrong on that one, but I think so. I could be wrong on that one. That was the first sound place anyway. They were the first to have the sound. The Park Palace. Yeah.
And then when?
Then everybody got sound in. And we also done the 3D pictures at the Mayfair, you know, yeah. And the 70mm films and all that. Then I spent a bit of time at the Abbey with Cinerama. Then I went back to Mayfair to finish off. It was a good job. I enjoyed it. I was pretty lucky. I enjoyed all my working life. I must say I did think what I'd do when it closed. Yeah. Well, fortunately, I had a sister-in-law who was a nurse in Septon General, and she got me a job in there with the electricians. So the foreman said to me, "What did you do before you come here, Brian?" I said, "A cinema projectionist." He said, "You're just a lad," he said. "We show 16mm to the mental ward every Thursday night," he said, "so you're the man." Yes, I've done that job for them. Yeah. Yeah. We also done the 3D. That was when we had to put glasses on. That was a damn nuisance, that was. Yeah.
Why was that a nuisance?
Well, for us, we had to take the glasses off to focus the projector because the two of them linked together. But with the glasses on, you couldn't focus it, so you had to take the glasses off to focus it, you know. So it all looks very blurred then. Did you ever go and see a 3D? No.
I did.
Your two projectors are linked together. They're locked together to give the effect. And you have to wear the glasses. I believe now they've perfected one where you don't wear glasses, but I don't know much about that one. You know. I think it's all a kidology. I mean, the picture's a picture, isn't it?
I do like going to a 3D one though, especially if it's got butterflies that come out at you. Did you go to any cinemas?
Yes, now and again I used to go to the cinema when I was off. The wife was the head sales girl in the Mayfair. My wife was, yeah. So we both had enough of cinema. We usually went to the Empire on a night off, actually. Yeah. But if anything special I want to see, we go to pictures. You know. Not the local ones, though. Yeah. And Dave come to me from Frodsham. He was in the cinema in Frodsham. Yeah. He come to me in 1996, I think it was. Yeah. He's done very well for himself. He done one shift, I done another. You know, day. He had his days off, I had my days off. Yeah. But up until I got Dave, I had no staff, they all left. I'd run it on my own for 6 weeks without a day off. So when Dave come, I said to the manager, he's coming no matter what he's like, one day off. Yeah. Yeah. But he turned out quite a nice lad. It's hard to believe there were 9 of us when I started there, though. Yeah.
So were you the first projectionist from the off?
No. I can remember that the head man said to me, well, forget all your lanes in the Ribbley, we'll teach you the right way. And that's when we started again. Then, I believe when I took over, somebody told me I was the youngest chief operator in Liverpool. I don't know whether it was or not. But anyway, I took on, I was early closed.
And so when you say Dave done well, what did he go on?
He's done well for himself in London. He went to BBC London, he was with them for a bit. And, you know, he's published a couple of books, he's done quite well. Yeah, he was over to see me the other day, actually. Yeah.